Hello again. This is Patrick, and it's another exciting episode of Back to Work. Not Back to Work, After Work. What is this show called again? I don't even remember. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I'm done with my visits. I've had a pretty busy week today. It started off really easy with one day where I only had 2 visits because of the Mondays on my schedule and discharges and deaths and stuff. I just ended up with nobody scheduled to go see on Monday. But yesterday I saw 6 patients. Today I saw 5 patients, and I ended up actually having a very, very busy week. My average is going to go up. I'm glad the week is over. Definitely looking forward to a couple of days to rest. I've got some homework to do over the weekend, but it's not very challenging stuff. It's like, what do you think about this in 250 words? Blah, blah, blah. So, I'm just going to save it for the last minute as a sign of contempt. I was asking our executive director for some help on coming up with ideas for a policy briefing paper, because since I didn't get any feedback on my idea of writing a parody of a policy briefing paper, I guess that was a subtle signal that I should come up with another idea. I actually had a little bit of a scare earlier on in the week because of this proposal. We had a weekly assignment, and the weekly assignment was to talk about whether, if we envision ourselves as nursing advocates or nursing politicians or nurse citizens and things like that, and what our idea for the policy briefing paper was. So I've been getting 100% on like every single assignment in this class so far, so I decided to have a little bit of fun with this one, and I went on this lengthy diatribe about politics and the illusion of participating in government and things like that. And then I, for my idea for the policy briefing paper, I suggested writing a parody one where I would write a policy briefing paper on medical expert systems and how they've advanced to the point now where MDs are no longer necessary, and we can retrain all the MDs as nurses because computers can diagnose, or will soon be able to diagnose better than human beings soon. I thought it was a funny idea, but I didn't get any actual feedback on it. Everybody else got feedback on theirs, and I didn't get a grade. So I thought maybe I'd pushed it a little bit too far this time. Because the class is ostensibly trying to get us to be more participatory in government, and all I was talking about was how irrelevant government was. So the next day I got an email from the registrar's office telling me that I've been re-registered for classes, and it showed the 2 classes that I was taking this 8-week session, but one of them was listed as a 400s level class instead of a 500s level class. And then it told me that next session there were 2 400s level classes at next session instead of 500 levels classes. So what I took from that email was that I had been bounced out of the RN to MSN program after I wrote that lengthy letter arguing for why I should be in it, So I drove around for the rest of that day with kind of a sinking feeling, if they drum me out of the RN to MSN program, I'm just going to withdraw. I'm not going to do the RN to BSN program there because, I was being demoted on for ideological reasons and not for academic ones and all this stuff, and I was, building in my mind all the arguments that I would make about, how messed up that is and all that other stuff. But then I took a quick break in the middle of a work day to call the school, and they're like, oh no, that's fine, you're still in the RN to MSN program. It just says 400s level because we charge you for the bachelor's level class, not the master's degree class, but they're the exact same class because you're in the RN to MSN program. I'm like, oh, okay, well thanks for clarifying that for me. So that was a little bit of a scare there, but then I actually got the grade for that assignment, and lo and behold, it was 100% again. And what was really weird is when I called the student services office, they told me to expect a 48-hour turnaround for whenever they would call me back, and they called me back while I was leaving the voicemail, which I thought was kind of weird. How did they... I was still leaving the voicemail, how did she know it was me, Not that I'm complaining, they got back to me right away and told me that stuff, so... I guess there's no problem. Except for the fact that I keep getting 100% scores on assignments that I'm not even taking seriously. But whatever, that's fine. I ran into our chaplain out in the field today. That's always interesting to run into other professionals while I'm out doing visits. I had a visit today where the whole family was there at the bedside, and it's a big, big family. There must have been like 20 or 30 people there. And it's nice to have interdisciplinary backup for situations like that, because it's hard to manage everything yourself. But the family liked our chaplain so much, they asked for her to come and do a memorial service for them later, and so that's kind of nice. And I actually gave the chaplain a hug when she left too. I guess it's like setting a good example for how to cope adaptively, Give each other hugs, it works. Yeah, my caseload is really low right now. After the most recent death, I'm down to seven patients. But I think this is the time of the year when the census is low, so I might have a light caseload for a while. I think I liked it better when I had 11, 12 patients on my caseload, because I was keeping a lot busier. But now there's a lot of stuff showing up on my caseload right now that's keeping me busier, because I'm like increasing the frequency of some of the people's visits. It's all pretty manageable right now. My supervisor told me during my performance review the other week that she feels like I have found my niche, which is, I guess, a nice thing for her to say in terms of inspiring confidence. But I wasn't really looking for a niche, but it's nice to know that somebody thinks that I found mine. But my old director from nursing school, when I was at the program that I got my degree at, when I told her how my job at the nursing home was going, she said that it sounded like I'd found my niche there. So maybe no matter who I'm talking to, if I explain my current job correctly and express enthusiasm for it, it's just like a normal thing to say, oh, it sounds like you found your niche. So maybe that's what it is. But I can't help but think when somebody says something like that, it implies that something different would not be my niche, And I like the idea of being able to do anything. So that's almost like not a good thing, because I don't want to settle, I guess, really. Not that I'm pondering a change in jobs. I like this job for right now, and I definitely plan on staying at this job at least until I get my master's. And then I don't know. Then I will have to see. Sometimes people ask me about school and when I'm going to get my degree and stuff, and I wonder sometimes if it's just like a subtle way of asking how much longer I'm going to be working there, because they might be assuming that I would leave once I got my master's. And that might be the time for, a job change when I get my master's degree, because I don't know if there's really a place for me with a master's degree at that agency. Since I'm not doing the nurse practitioner track, I'm not doing the APRN track, so they wouldn't. Because my agency does hire APRNs, but I think just on a per diem basis, I don't think it's. I don't think there are any full-time APRNs, but they mostly do face-to-face and research and stuff like that. Not the kind of case management stuff that I'm doing right now. But from looking around and looking at the message forums and stuff for nursing, it sounds like when I get my master's degree and I settle into a master's degree level job, I'll jump from the $31 or so an hour that I'm getting right now to $60 something an hour. So that would be pretty hard to pass up, to double my income. I just did my taxes, and I wasn't working full time all through 2011, so there was some periods where I wasn't working and I was collecting unemployment, and like early on 2011, and I was able to claim all of my tuition. So I was able to claim like over $8,000 worth of tuition. So I'm gonna get back from federal taxes like $3,800 or something like that, which is great. And then from state like $100 or something like that. But even without working full time, working per diem at 2 different jobs, and then being unemployed for part of last year, I still totaled like $50,000 or something like that, which is pretty good. I've really got to try harder to save money, because once I get that nearly $4,000 tax return, I mean, that's almost halfway to a down payment on a house, you know. Not that that's what I want to do. I don't really know. There's that really nice apartment downtown, like right in the middle of everything. But $1,500 a month, I don't know. It's tough. Well, that's about it. I'm almost home. I'm gonna have a bunch of people over tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that. I just started having house guests and company over for the first time in a long time, just a couple of weeks ago. I haven't really entertained house guests in a while. It's nice to get back into it again. For the past few years, I'd have like maybe one big gathering of a whole bunch of people one time a year, but nothing besides that. And now I'm just having like smaller groups of people over, like on the weekends here or there. It's kind of nice. So maybe I'll see you there tomorrow. I mean, not there. Maybe I'll see you here tomorrow. Possibly.